Hey, how are you, Chris?
There yet? He's driving. Hello.
Next time.
Sweating bullets. Hello.
Are we on? We are on. Good evening. This is Monday, July 18th, 2011, and I will call this meeting of the Norfolk City Council to order. Let me inform you that posted in the northwest corner of this actual room is the Open Meeting Act. As this is an open meeting, they're made accessible for any member of the public that chooses to do some reading. I will ask you to join us, if you would, please, for a moment of silence and as well the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we will continue with roll call.
Hoy.
Here.
Lange.
Here.
Merrill. Clausen.
Here.
Murin.
Here.
Brenneman.
Here.
Faust.
Here.
Saunders.
Action, I would ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda that was presented to you, Council.
So moved, Your Honor.
Second.
Motion with a second to approve the consent agenda as presented to us. Next, approval of the full agenda. I'm sorry, roll call. I'm really moving this fast.
Council members voting in the affirmative.
Okay, and full agenda before us tonight with the elimination of item number 32 under the regular agenda. Can I have a motion for approval?
So move, Your Honor.
Motion with a second to approve with the omission of item 32. Again, please vote.
All council members voting in the affirmative.
Okay, that will take us then directly into the presentation tonight, special presentation, a recreational update, if you would. Shane?
Yes, Your Honor, and Council, thank you. We're making progress. We have the football lights are up. If you drive by, you can see the shiny new football standards, light standards are up, and not functional, but up. So, and the turf is here. Large rolls of turf are ready to roll down beginning tomorrow, the way it sounds. So we ought to start seeing some new green area down there on the football field. So we're thankful for that. And also, you can see some additional truck traffic moving in and through the streets from that project down there. We're starting to excavate the swimming pool part of the project, the holes that will house the water facility. So that trucks are moving. Most of that dirt right now is going down to the transfer station to start preparing an area for our hazmat building when we get that going. And then a lot of it will also go down to the Tawazuka Park to level off that camping ground area and bring that up a little bit there as well. So city crews are busy engaged with that work as well. So we're making pretty good progress. It's been hot, but the sun's shiny, so we can make some pretty good progress with weather that's not wet. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that the mayor or the council may have, or anyone in the audience.
Shane, can you kind of go over a timeline for Memorial Pool closing and demolition, and maybe go over a timeline for the baseball grandstand demolition?
I'm going to have to ask some staff to help me out on that. I believe baseball's done, Dennis.
Baseball season is done. They're in the process of removing the utilities from the grandstand. Expect that to happen this week, with demolition to happen shortly thereafter. Last day of swimming at the pool is July 22nd, which is Friday. And then there's some lifeguard training over the weekend, and staff will begin removing the few items we want to salvage out of there, the heater for one thing and a couple of other things, and we've told the contractor that it'll be his on July 27th. So
Do we plan to move the heater to Liberty Bell, or?
I'm not sure where the heater's going for sure, other than it's only a year or two old, so we'll take it out and deal with it from there. There's some engineering issues in things related to just saying it can go to Liberty Bell.
Potentially, though. We're looking into that hard, Councilman, so it would be a real positive for it.
Any other questions, council?
Not questions so much as I think it looked like they were starting paving today.
They poured the first piece of concrete for the parking lot today. So
Good thing.
Okay.
nice warm day to start.
Well, they got plenty more to take care of them for a while, too, so. Any other comments, questions? Okay. Then next, under a special presentation, we have here tonight a representative from the Lower Elkhorn Natural Resource District that wants to present the city and the Norfolk Tree Advisory Board a check for $2,351 for design of a tree planting project and purchase of trees at Tahazuka Park. If you would.
Thank you, Mayor Sue. I'm Chris Carlson. I'm a director of the Lower Elkhorn NRD. And of course, the Natural Resources District, we're in charge of recreation, forestry. One of our big quote items, since we're groundwater experts, is water banking and water budgeting, soil conservation, and water quality, besides water quantity, which we've been blessed with lately. So those are some of the duties of the NRD. And we sponsor recreational grants and forestry grants. And Carolyn Lingenfelter here from the Norfolk Tree Board, I'd like to present the city and the Norfolk Tree Board a check for $2,351.24 for trees that were put in Tahazuka Park, high-quality trees, and we're planting trees for the next generation, so we're forward-looking. And we have a sign to put up there, and I don't know if Carolyn wants to explain the tree project a little bit more, but on behalf of Lower Elkhorn RD, we'd like to thank you for applying for this grant and hope you apply for more in the future.
Thanks, Chris, very much.
Well, thank you very much. We're really proud of the fact that we were able to get this grant for the city. After last year's flood, the trees in Tahazuka, we had to be taken out, several of them along the lagoon, and so the trees that were planted all along the south edge of the lagoon. We planted 2 clusters of trees by the bridge because that's a picturesque place that people like to take wedding pictures and things, and tried to enhance that area. And the city had already done quite a bit of work around the bridge to bring that up to date. So like I said, we're real pleased with this, and we'll be applying for more, and Pat Mersney and his crew have certainly worked with us, and it's been really a pleasure. And the maintenance on them, they are doing a great job in helping us in that respect too, so thank you.
Appreciate you being here tonight, Carolyn, to accept that. Please extend to that whole board. I know it's a commitment, and if I may say that they've done a great job in just a short time of bringing some recognition to what it is that you're all about. So I appreciate it. Continue the good work, and as well, recognition given to Pat and the crew too for everything that they do to help us in that. Chris, please extend back to your group our sincere thanks too. So I know putting together that grant, Carolyn, was kind of a challenge because that was kind of a new piece for all of you on that tree board. So again, thanks for all the efforts there. Moving on then, we have one public hearing tonight, and we'll open a public hearing to consider submitting an application in the amount of $400,000 to Nebraska Department of Economic Development for a Nebraska Affordable Housing Program grant for an owner-occupied rehabilitation single-family affordable housing program. And I am going to look to probably you, Mr. Tom, to come forward, state your name for us, and give an explanation.
Tom Higginbotham, Executive Director of the Northeast Nebraska Economic Development District. We've been working with the Housing Agency. They have a huge need for owner-occupied rehabilitation for the low to moderate income sector of the city. They haven't had a grant since 2005, probably. They've just been operating on their reuse, which is getting low, or if not all gone. There's 95 people on the waiting list, so there is a huge need. This would be citywide. So we're going to ask for the maximum $400,000. As you can see, once we take out the lead-based paint, the administration, there's $308,500 for the actual rehabilitation, which will do about 15 homes if the maximum $20,000 is utilized. Also, to be conservative, that $19,500 of lead-based paint will be lead testing on all those homes, assuming that they're built prior to '78. If we don't need to spend lead money on all those, then we have the option to rolling that money back up into the hard cost and adding a little bit more to the rehab. So, but typically, most of the homes we work with are prior to '78, so we need that money. So basically, we're just here to have the required public hearing. If I ask any questions from the council or the public on that, and eventually we'll need a resolution authorizing the mayor to sign her life away. I mean, to authorize her to sign the application and documents that go along with it.
What is it you really want, Tom? Council, any questions or comments, or? Okay,
Do you have any comments, Sheila? Okay. That's it.
all right. Let me remind you,
Sheila wants the money.
this is a public hearing, so if there's anyone out there in the audience that wants to come forward and speak to this, now is your opportunity. If not, and no further question or discussion, I will close this hearing and ask for consideration of approval of resolution number 2011-17 to submit application in the amount of the $400,000 to Nebraska Department of Economic Development for purposes stated to us here.
Your Honor, I would move approval of Resolution 2011-17.
Second.
A motion with a second. Any further discussion at all? If not, please vote.
All council members voting in the affirmative. Resolution 2011-17 is adopted.
Seeing nothing else on the agenda, I'm going to entertain a motion to adjourn.
Your Honor, I'll make the motion.
We are adjourned. Okay, and with that, we will move into, we're going to stay right here? No? Really? Okay, well, thanks for being here tonight, gentlemen. You bet, you bet.